Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, along with Coach Chris Wilhite, Toby Murray. We're at Great Crossing High School, Georgetown, Kentucky, for the first ever Battle of the Birds baseball style, as the Scott County Cardinals make the short trip from across town to take on the Warhawks from Great Crossing. Scott County head coach Scott Willard brings his team in with 11-18 record. They'll take on Coach Greg Stratton and the Great Crossing Warhawks with a record of 17-9. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll go over the team stats and highlight a couple of players for both teams. Glad you could join us here tonight on BirdsNestSports.com. We'll be back right after this.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Scott County Schools and Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
At Bluegrass Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Chris Wilhite, Toby Murray here, Georgetown, Kentucky, Great Crossings High School. Battle of the Birds tonight, Scott County making the short trip to take on the Great Crossing Warhawks. And, Coach, let's spend a little time. Let's look at the team stats. If you don't mind, let's go over those for the fans.
So if you look at the stats, you know, it heavily leans toward Great Crossing on the offensive side. They've got a team batting average of .375. They've hit 12 home runs on the year. They're 103 out of 107 on stolen bases, which is very impressive. On the pitching side of it, their ERA's, 5.05, which, pretty average for high school, I would think. And 151 walks, or 151 strikeouts to compared to 138 on the walks. So, like I said, pretty impressive on the offensive side there. Look at Scott County on their side of it. Team batting average of .226. 2 home runs on the year. Actually, it's 3 home runs on the year now because Campton Martin got one the other night. Stolen bases 78 for 89. Team ERA 4.75. They've gotten really good starting pitching out of Joseph Garrison, Zane Patton at the top in their district games, and some of the other guys have started to come on as of late too to help lower that ERA as well. Interesting stat on looking at Scott County, they've played a murderous row of a schedule. They've not backed off any this year with the splitting up with the schools, and they started off with McCracken County, who's probably top 3 in the state, I believe. But their opponent record is almost 65%, so pretty impressive on that side of it. So we'll see how it goes there, but definitely Great Crossing on the offensive side of it has shown a lot of impressive stats hitting wise.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I'll tell you how much stats means in a battle like this. They don't mean anything. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's nice to look at the stats. The stats, unless you play everybody the same exact schedule on the same exact day in the same exact location, that's really the only time I think you can compare stats to stats.
And especially in baseball, because you see teams that have really dominant pitchers. So one team may face that pitcher, one team may not face that pitcher. So that's probably more the case than any sport on that side of it.
Well, we'll just do this. Let's take another timeout. We'll come back and we'll highlight a couple of players on both teams. Glad you could join us here today. You're watching BirdsNestSports.com baseball. Back after this.
And Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. You were talking about the region and the district games for both teams. Scott County, they went out and played 3 teams in the region outside of their district. They took it on the chin down to Madison Central by a score 11-2. Had a great ball game over Lexington Catholic, had a chance to win it, but came up short in 8 innings. They lost that one 10-8. And then Lafayette came over last week and handed it to Scott County by a final score of 6-0. From a district perspective, Scott County, they lost to Frederick Douglass 4-0, come back and beat Douglass, probably the biggest win of the season over at home. That was almost had a postseason atmosphere to it. They won that ball game 3-1. They lost against Henry Clay 2-0. And then they came back and defeated Henry Clay 6-5. They won against Bryan Station 9-6, took it on the chin to Sayre both games 4-2, and probably the second game was probably a little bit of an upset. They were expected to win that, as most teams against Sayre have done that this season. Their first number 1 pitcher has beaten everybody, and their number 2 pitcher has pretty much took it on the chin, but Sayre was able to beat Scott County by a score of 2-1. Then they came back and they defeated Bryan Station by a score of 9-6. They defeated Henry Clay by a score of 6-5, and they defeated Bryan Station again by a score of 12-7 to earn the number 2 seed in the very competitive 42nd district. On the other side of the ledger, Great Crossing has only went outside their district to play in the region twice. They defeated Madison Central by a score of 16-5, and then took it on the chin against Paul Lawrence Dunbar by a score of 10-7. In district action, they pretty much dominated everybody, Chris. They defeated Western Hills 9-1 and 12-2. They gave it to Franklin County 16-3 and 18-5, and then they beat Frankfort in 3 innings 16-1, and then they came back and beat them in 13-1. So pretty much you were talking about the schedules. Scott County, you would have to say, probably played a tougher schedule, but it doesn't matter. You schedule and you play who you play, right?
You play who you play, and like you said earlier, this game really doesn't matter who you play. This is, definitely a rivalry game. I would assume both teams will throw their best pitching tonight because the district doesn't start for another week. So
yep.
I would assume they'll get some work in and maybe throw multiple pitchers. I don't know. Yep. We'll see. Scott County's going with one of their 2 district starters with Joseph Garrison, so
yep.
We'll see how that goes.
So let's do this. Let's take a timeout. Let's stick right here. Let's look at a little player highlights. This first player highlight is sponsored by Dr. Robert Henderson over at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Let's talk a little bit about Scott County's senior catcher, Zane Patton.
Yeah, Zane, you call him a catcher, but he's played shortstop, he's played third, he's played first, he's their 1A pitcher. Mm-hmm. So he gets a lot of action all over the field. But Zane is definitely the leader of the team. He would have been a 3-year starter if we would have had a season last year. Yep. He's one of the few guys that on this team now that would have played as a sophomore. So he's definitely got the most experience on the team. Leads the team in batting average, .354. Has hit 2 home runs, leads the team in hits with 28, 2 triples, .500 slugging percentage, 18 RBIs, and 26 runs, all from leadoff off the spot. Yeah,
and like you say, you throw in the pitching stats from him as well. Pretty impressive from that side of the ledger. He is Scott County's number 1 pitcher also. So I'm trying to get his pitching stats here real quick.
Yeah, I've got him right here. He's thrown 37 innings, only given up 30 hits. Only 23 runs, 18 of which were earned, 28 strikeouts in those 30 innings, and his ERA is 3.41. So been very strong on the mound. Has usually pitched the second night of the district doubleheader,
right,
and able to pull the Cardinals through on a split on many of those.
All righty, now the Great Crossing player spotlight. Pretty much, you look at Great Crossing, you have to pretty much think of one player, and that would be Mr. Seth Benner. looking at his stats, pretty much impressive in its own right.
Very impressive, and his stats are a big reason why Great Crossing stats are so high.
Yep.
He's got a 545 batting average, which is 6th in the state, leads the team in home runs with 7, which is 13th in the state, has 42 hits, that's top 20 in the state, 4 triples, 36 RBIs, and 38 runs. So, he's pretty much done it throughout the whole season.
Yeah, and the thing about his, it looks kind of busy on the screen, but every one of his statistics we talk about are ranked in the top 25 in the state. And hats off to him. He's worked hard, and typically it's great to see a player have success at the high school level because they put the work in.
Exactly.
And you know that from a basketball coach perspective.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's put in the extra work to have the numbers that he has.
All righty, we'll do this. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back, and we'll talk about the keys to the ball game. You're watching BirdsNestSports.com. Baseball action, Battle of the Birds. Getting set here for you. We'll be back right after this.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests in our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little plunky dance.
And that too.
Do y'all have the officials' names by chance? Who is it? How do you spell his last name? Sorry about that. Trying to get the umpires tonight. Behind the plate will be Monty McGregor. And out at first base and in the field will be Jason Brockman. So 2 good umpires as usual. It's hard. I mean, people talk about the officials and the umpires in all sports, but I tell you what, probably wouldn't be a better place to be than the 10th and 11th region officials we have in all sports. They're pretty good.
Yeah, 1 through wherever, they're pretty solid all the way around in all sports. I'd say these guys will, be on their toes tonight with being a rivalry game, and we'll see how that goes.
Yep. And again, we're looking at it here, Scott County. They're going to throw Joseph Garrison, the junior 5'11", 165-pounder. He's pitched in 8 games, started 6 of those, 39.1 innings, giving up 38 hits, 34 runs, 19 of those earned, 11 walks to 34 strikeouts. That's a pretty good, almost 3-to-1 ratio, and you can't get much better than that. His ERA, pretty impressive, 3.38, and then his record, 3-4, but he's battled some tough teams this year, hasn't he?
Oh, he's pitched the first night of the district doubleheader each time, so he's faced Douglas, Sayre. He's going against their team's ace too, so he's had tough matchups. But big key for Joseph is the low number of walks. He's only walked 11 out of 45 innings, so that's a big key for Joseph. He's not an overpowering pitcher. He does a good job with his off speed, hitting spots, so keep the guys off balance.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Great Crossing going with probably their best pitcher from a record perspective, Cole Traylor, the 6', 175-pound senior. He's pitched in 9 games, started 8 of those. He's pitched a total of 37 innings, giving up 39 hits, 26 runs, 19 of those earned. He's only had 12 walks to go with 32 strikeouts, so both of them pretty comparable in that range. His record is 6-2, and that record there puts him actually number 16th in the state with 6 wins, and his ERA is 3.59. So really, when you look at it, you're talking about Scott County probably has a little bit of an edge from the defense and from the pitching perspective. Great Crossing has a definite edge from the offense perspective, so it's offense versus defense, and usually what happens there is the other side steps up.
It'll be just the opposite.
So I'm looking for a good one. It'll either be a 13-12 game, or it'll be a 1-0 no-hitter on both sides, and a wild pitch scores the winning run. So either way, I'm happy to see it. Like I say, Coach Stratton gives the circle for the announcer to go ahead and announce the starting lineups for both teams. And Coach, what's the keys for the ball game from your perspective?
Well, I think obviously for Scott County's side, on the pitching, Joseph's got to do a good job of keeping those guys off base. They got a high batting average. We got to keep runners off when Benner gets up to the plate. And then kind of the nemesis of Scott County all year has just been stringing together hits. They'll go games where they'll get 8 or 9 hits, but they'll only score 1 run. So I think a big key is to be able to string together some hits in that.
Yeah, and, like you say, I think it's going to come down. Both pitchers, they do have 30 more strikeouts on the season, but that's not really a whole lot. I think both teams are going to put the ball in play, and I think it's going to come down to who plays the best defense.
I think you're right.
In Scott County, and both teams, I've seen both teams play about 4 times this year doing the broadcast. Both teams are pretty solidly. I tell you what, the shortstop Grant Stewart, we were over here, and he was picking and cleaning everything that we saw. And then if they didn't do a good job fielding it and throwing it to Jacob Turlia, he was over there scooping it up and doing a great job himself. So
yeah, I've grown up with Grant. He used to live across the street from me, so we played a lot of ball together.
So you're taking credit for his defensive
how he
skills?
catches or throws, but I just can take credit for knowing him.
Yeah, and like I say, it's going to be a good one here. Probably a little bit of a high intensity, like we said. Great Crossing came into existence last season, but the spring sports were called off last year, so this is the first time they've met, and Coach, there's a little bit of tension going on when the school split happened, and hopefully both teams will play baseball and not worry about that too much. You want to be fired up, but you got to keep it a good balance, don't you?
Yeah, that's right, and I would assume they probably will. I mean, there's going to be some chirping going on, but all the games I've been to this year, there's been chirping from both teams anyway, so that's just kind of baseball. The teams get in the dugout, and they yell and scream and kick the fence and just try to rattle the other team's pitcher or batter or whatever. So hopefully they can just do it in a good spirit, and hopefully we get a good game tonight.
When you talk about the coaches out there, Coach Willard, he's been at Scott County since 2005. He actually was the assistant coach my son Derek's last season, and then he took over the next year, so he's been the head coach since 2006 for Scott County. He's in the Kentucky High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame, got his 500th victory this year. And then on the other side, you talk about Greg Stratton. He's been Coach Willard's right-hand man for probably 5 or 6 years. He got the opportunity, very good baseball genetics, so to speak. He was a state champion in high school at Shelby County. He was a college player. He did some pro scouting, things like that. So he's got the pedigree as well. And it's nice for him to get a chance to play and be a head coach finally, and he's deserving. As both coaches are on top of their game, both teams are very happy to have them. So we'll do this. We'll take our final time out. We'll get ready for the first pitch when we're back right after this on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Scott County Schools and Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
At Bluegrass Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Chris Wilhite, Toby Murray. We're at Great Crossing High School, and here's your hitting lineup for Scott County and your defensive lineup for Great Crossing. First, the defensive lineup for Great Crossing. Out in left field is Colin Nicholson. The center fielder is Aiden Foster. Over and right is Drake Bird. The third baseman is Seth Benner. Grant Stewart is a shortstop, Benny M. Bond. He'll be over at second. Jacob Turley is at first. Behind the dish is Zach Lyons, and on the bump is Cole Troller. Your batting lineup for the Cardinals leading off is the catcher, Zane Patton. Chase Grigsby bats second. Paul Garner hitting the 3 spot. Ethan Miracle batting in the 4 spot. The 5th hitter is Jackson Saylor. Next up is Campton Martin. Then Aiden Lopez, Joseph Garrison, and Andrew Wilhite. So, Coach, we've talked a lot, but now we're ready to play the ball game.
That's right. It should be a good one here. We got a couple of lineup changes for Scott County. I think Luke Colvin has an injured hand. Usually he was normally the DH, so they got Aiden Lopez in there tonight. So.
On the mound for the Warhawks, number 11, Cole Traylor. Leading off for the Cardinals, the catcher, number 8, Zane Patton. On deck, Grigsby.
But like we say, leading off for Scott County is Zane Patton, the catcher, leading hitter for the Cardinals. On the mound, Cole Traylor for Great Crossing. Glad you could join us here. Hopefully it's a good one.
It's like the umpire's taking control early, straightening out a few things in the dugout we were talking about. So.
Yep. First pitch outside, ball 1. One-0 pitch is high, ball 2. Scott County's dugout. A little bit vocal here tonight, as you would expect. Pitch outside, ball 3.
Zane's a good leadoff man. Doesn't swing in a lot of bad pitches. You know, he's got 15 walks on the season.
3-0 pitch, number up the middle, picked up by Grant Stewart. Flip just in time for the out. Not the start you wanted there if you're Scott County. 3-0 pitch. If you're going to swing the 3-0 pitch, you have to hit a little bit better than that.
Right. Yeah, got it in on his hands a little bit off the handle, and just wasn't able to get it up the middle. Stewart made a good play at short, ranging towards second and throwing him out by, so it was pretty close actually at first.
Grigsby takes the first pitch, strike 1 call. Grigsby fouls that one down the third base side. Foul. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Grigsby. Ball high. Grigsby staying alive.
Chase been a pretty steady hitter over these last probably 3 weeks. He started off a little bit slow, but he's gradually built that batting average up.
Takes a pitch. Count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're checking him at first. Says no. Free pass to Grigsby. So first base runner for Scott County in the form of Chase Grigsby, and they'll hand it back to Paul Garner.
Now batting the second baseman, Number 4, Paul Garner. On deck, Miracle.
Paul's batting .244 on the year, 20 hits. Another guy who's kind of worked his way up through the lineup. He was batting lower in the order at the beginning of the season and just been steadily improving on his hitting and moved all the way up to the 3-hole now.
Swing and a miss by Paul Gardner. 1 out here.
It's good off speed by Traylor right there.
Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. A fan not happy with the home plate umpire up to this point, Monty McGregor. At least one side is. I'll let you guess which one. Off on the pitch is Patton. Got a really good jump. Throw from Zach Lyons is a little bit too late. So a stolen base by Scott County's leader in that category, Zane Patton.
Chase got a good jump, but also, on an off-speed pitch, so he picked a good pitch to run on there.
Garner fouls it off down the right side. Two pitch, a 2-1 pitch. Nope, he didn't know what the count was either. So first pitch, off-speed pitch in there for a strike for Cole Traylor, and a strikeout looking for Paul Garner. First strikeout of the ball game for Cole Traylor.
Ethan Miracle. On deck, Sailor.
Pitch inside to Mr. Miracle. Nice hopper to Grant Stewart. Stewart one hops it, pats the glove, gets it over to Toledo, full stretch. And 2 outs in the inning for Grant Stewart. So Scott County strands a runner out at second base. Chase Grigsby walks and steals second. So Scott County unable to do the damage here in the first. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's action.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. A half innings in the books. And now Scott County's turn on the defensive side. Great Crossing's turn on the offensive side. So we'll look at the defense for Scott County first. Out in left field is Jackson Saylor. Campton Martin outmanning center field. Andrew Wilhite over in right field. Luke Valencia, the freshman, playing third base. Chase Grigsby at shortstop. Paul Garner out at second. Ethan Miracle over at first base. Zane Patton, Mr. Go Anywhere for Scott County, is behind the plate. And Scott County's going with Joseph Garrison on the mound. The batting lineup for Great Crossings. Leading off is the catcher, Zach Lyons. Benny and Bond, the second baseman's hitting in the 2 spot. Seth Benner, the third baseman's batting third. In the 4 spot is the first baseman, Jacob Turlia. The designated hitter, Peyton Harris, is next, followed by the shortstop, Grant Stewart. Then Aiden Foster, the center fielder. Drake Bird, the right fielder. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Colin Nicholson. So leading off for Great Crossing is Zach Lyons. First pitch, pop-up, a blooper. Grigsby on the run. Nice play by Chase Grigsby.
You know, Mike, we talked about it off the air, but you don't see very often that both teams have their catchers hitting leadoff.
Number 2, Benny Bond on deck. Benner.
So now Benny and Bond swinging a nice bright pink bat here today. Batting .391 is the senior second baseman. 1-0 pitch from Garrison. Ball high, and the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Off-speed pitch, foul back in the net, and the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. Beautiful day out here at Great Crossing High School baseball field.
And finally this week you can say it's baseball weather.
Yes, you can. Chopper down the third base line, just foul. Luke Valencia a little unsure whether to play that one or not. Coach Stratton did a good job of staying out of the way. Don't want to see him get on any YouTube videos today. Two-two pitch, curveball outside, and the count evens up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So the payoff pitch on its way. Swing and a miss on the high pitch from Joseph Garrison. His first strike out in the ball game. 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Seth Benner. Seth Benner, pick a stat if you want to. He's pretty much leading the team in all of them. Batting .545 on the season. And one thing about it, in the games I've seen him play, he's not going to get cheated at the plate. Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. 2 outs here in the inning.
Well, this will be an interesting matchup with Joseph and Seth then, because Joseph's pretty good about hitting his spots, throwing a lot of off speed. I would be willing to guess he's not going to see much.
There's the pitch. Late break by Campton Martin, but he gets underneath of it for the out. So 3 up, 3 down for Scott County's Joseph Garrison. Got to be happy with that. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. And through 1 complete, we're scoreless here on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
3 down.
Back after this.
After 1 inning of play.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with the coach, Chris Wilhite. 1 inning in the books, and looking at the line totals, we'll show them to you, but not much. All zeros up to this point. As both pitchers, Cole Traylor, he faced 4 batters, giving up a walk. And Scott County's Joseph Garrison comes back 3 up, 3 down. So your line totals, all zeros for both teams as we go into the top of the 2nd inning here at Great Crossing High School.
Leading Leading off the top half of the second inning, the left fielder, number 34, Jackson Saylor.
So leading off for Scott County is the left fielder, Jackson Saylor, batting .203 is the junior.
I don't know if you'll see it here, but these last few games, I see the third baseman has scooted in. Jackson's laid down some very impressive bunts. Probably won a game over the last 2 weeks, and he's got great speed as he's able to beat them out.
Yeah, and he does a great job pushing it towards that second baseman, too, trying to get it past that pitcher. Almost like a half bunt.
Right, he's just placing it. He's a lot of guys try to maybe place it too much around home plate. He's pushing it out, trying to get it past the pitcher's mound on most of them.
Here's the 2-0 pitch from Traylor, outside, ball 3. So Cole Traylor only come into the ball game with 12 walks on the season in the 8 games he started. Struggling a little bit here as he finds himself behind the count, 3 balls and no strikes. We're in the top of the second inning. Glad you could join us on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. If you're listening to us on the internet, we appreciate it, but you got plenty of time to come on out, enjoy the game in person. There's nothing better than high school sports in person. Second walk of the ball game. And that'll put the speedy Jackson Saylor on the base pass for the Cardinals. And now batting is the center fielder, Campton Martin, batting .247.
Number 14, Captain Martin. On deck, Lopez.
Campton Martin, one of the many football players on Scott County's team that play multiple sports. Shout out to Andrew Wilhite, got the Triple Threat Award along with Ethan Miracle, playing 3 high school varsity sports. It's pretty hard to do.
It's tough these days with all the specializing that goes on and the amount of practice each sport puts in.
Speaking of that, you led in what, 5 sports?
I think it was 4.
4? I was going to give you another extra.
I must have got cut from that 15 team. Yeah, I probably got cut. I wasn't quite good enough. I think it was golf.
Is that what it was?
Golf, yeah.
Yep.
And if you can do it, you should do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the few number of guys that play college sports or college athletics, and it's just, you get to be around different kids in school, different athletes, and it just makes it a little more interesting when you're always into a different sport.
Well, like they say, my philosophy is if you can play in a specific sport and you're good enough, they're going to find you.
That's right.
If you're a good basketball player and they have to find you on the baseball field, they'll do that.
That's right.
And vice versa. But, a lot of parents and some coaches, I got to say hats off to Scott County and Great Crossing, but some coaches really want you to focus on their sport. Here's off on the pitch is Saylor, picks a good pitch to steal on, and he's in there safe. So Scott County, good job right there, off-speed pitch. Nothing much Zach Lyons could do there. He made it close with a great throw, but Jackson Saylor in safe at second. Up from the tag by Benny and Bond.
Yeah, Zach's made 2 nice throws. They've just gotten both runners chase, and then Jackson there have gotten really good jumps and able to steal on an off-speed pitch.
Too busy talking here, not keeping the score up to date. My apologies.
It's good to see Campton get that home run the other night. It's not the end all in baseball, but every kid wants to hit one at some point. He's come close several times this year, so it's good to see him get one this year.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, off speed, swinging and miss. So Traylor battling back here, his second strikeout of the ball game. First out of the inning, and now Aiden Lopez, the designated hitter.
Aiden Lopez.
Getting from the left side.
On deck, Garrison.
Is the junior, batting .250 on the season. Coach Willard shows the 3-number sign to let them know what he expects them to do. So Jackson Saylor walked, stole second, is out at second base. First pitch to Lopez. Is it chopper through the drawn in Jacob Turlia. Jackson Saylor around. He's going to be held up by Coach Willard. So Aiden Lopez, first hit of the ball game. And right there, Turlia was playing even with the grass at first base. Not for sure what the intent was there. Coach Willard out of the dugout here.
Looks like he's bringing Jacob Blair on. I don't know if it's pinch hitting or if he's going to be the DH in this game or how they're doing that.
Well, we got Aiden Lopez.
We got him as a DH. Maybe
no, he's going to let Jacob.
Now batting number 19, Jacob Blair.
Jacob Blair is going to pinch hit for Joseph Garrison right here, and Joseph Garrison will stay in the ball game. He's starting pitcher. He can come back in. So this is really just a pinch hit, my guess.
Coach Willard's trying to get that early lead, I guess.
Yep.
Jacob Blair's a guy who is, a good power hitter. He's hit several home runs at the freshman and JV level already this year. Has had several game-winning sac flies too. So maybe that's what they're thinking here in this situation.
Pickoff move on Lopez over at first. Kind of catches you by surprise, but a good move here because you can always pinch hit one time and re-enter if you're a starting player. Lopez has got to be careful where that one was pretty close. So a little action here, making the books dirty. Jacob Blair in the pitch hit for the pitcher, Joseph Garrison. Swing and a miss on that off-speed pitch. And the Warhawk fans, as you can hear with our open mic, like that one. So Cole Traylor has the bases occupied at first and third here with one out. Turlia does his job. Turlia, hats off to Jacob Blair. Good play.
Yeah, very good play.
Jacob Blair tried to get out of the way. Might have got actually out of the base pass. So Saylor did a good job over third not to get in a rundown. And Aiden Lopez out at second base.
The right fielder,
or out to second base.
Andrew Wilhite.
So now Andrew Wilhite, the junior right fielder, batting .219 on the season, a chance to put his Cardinals up early in this ball game. First pitch, a shot out to right field. Lopez should be off on contact with 2 outs. Bobbled by Jake Bird, and Scott County takes the early 2-0 lead on the 2 RBI single to right field by Scott County's junior right fielder, Andrew Wilhite. So Scott County scores their first and second run of the ball game.
That Scott County's not been able to do all year. We've not been able to get that 2-out hit when there's guys on base, and maybe lost a game 2-1 or 4-3 a couple weeks ago. So good to see Andrew come through there.
Yep. So second hit of the ball game for Scott County. First pitch swinging was Andrew Wilhite. Now back to the top, Zane Patton. Zane ground out on a nice play by Grant Stewart in the first inning. So 2-0 here in the Battle of the Birds, baseball style. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Wilhite off on the pitch. Lines throw down to Bond. Not in time. It gets past Bond. Good job by Aiden Foster out there backing up from center field. So Scott County, their third stolen base of the ball game. Chase Grigsby, Jackson Saylor, and Andrew Wilhite. Successful steal attempts. They're 3 for 3. And another runner in scoring position, and that's what you want if you're Scott County. Their leading hitter, Zane Patton, batting .354 on the season. At the plate ahead in the count 3-0. And that's 2 times in a row with 3-0 count. He hit the number to Stewart in the first inning, fouled that one straight back.
Sometimes you get a little anxious, even though it is 3-0 and you got the green light, but still, Zane's their best pitcher, or best hitter. Yep. Coach Willard probably thinks he's better off, trying to get it in play than taking a walk.
Yep. 3-1 pitch is on the inside corner. Counts 3-2, and here's the payoff pitch. Saylor hits a line drive to Seth Benner. Seth Benner makes the diving catch for the last out. So Scott County, 1st one on the boards. 2 runs, both of them earned on 2 hits. 2 RBIs. no errors, and leave one runner on base. So after 1.5, Scott County with the early lead, 2-0 over Great Crossing. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Chris Wilhite, Toby Murray. And again, Chris, we talked about it. Scott County pretty much struggling all year long to get the big timely hits. Right there, Saylor led off with a walk, stole second. Aiden Lopez got a base hit in the 4-hole to move him to third. Jacob Blair came in to pitch, hit, grounded out to third baseman. Then Andrew Wilhite with runners at second and third. A nice solid hit to right field to score both of them, and Scott County with the early lead, 2-0.
Yeah, it's just like we talked about, just coming through with guys on base. We were able to move the runners along, take advantage of the leadoff walk, which, you know, baseball, that first guy gets on base, that's a high percentage that he gets moved around and scores.
Number 17.
Yeah, it's amazing if that first runner gets on base via an error or a walk, how many times they score at the high school level.
Seems like every time.
Yep. So Jacob Turlia, the first baseman, batting .319, first pitch swinging. Paul Garner underneath of it at second, troubles with it, can't make the play. So Jacob Turlia on base with an error by the second baseman. The first error of the ball game for Scott County.
Number 10.
That'll put Jacob Turlia out at first. Peyton Harris, the designated hitter, batting .468. Is the sophomore.
I believe Peyton is a junior.
Okay. You are correct.
I've seen a lot of these guys play a lot of baseball growing up.
Yes, you have. Update my scorebook here. Foul back. They count no balls and 2 strikes.
What's kind of interesting, you know, this game, like a lot of these guys played when they're 11 and 12 down at Suffaletta Field. Most of these guys played against each other all the way growing up.
0-2 pitch. High fastball fouled back. Joseph Garris was kind of mano a mano on that one.
Quick, he went right after him, yeah.
Turlia over at first base. The bottom of the second inning. I'll start keeping the scoreboard up to date for you a little bit. Looking for a free volunteer scorekeeper for me. Kind of redundant, free and volunteer, isn't it? Harris down the line. Outside of the reach of Jackson Saylor, inside the fair line, or the foul line, excuse me. I always called it the fair line. And a stand-up double for the junior, Peyton Harris, first hit of the ball game. For the Warhawks, and they have runners in scoring position, so Great Crossing trying to answer here.
That was a good job by Peyton there. He took advantage. I think Joseph more than likely missed his spot on that 0-2 pitch. It was That was grooved right down the middle. Scott County pitching coach Sam Sutton out there to probably talk about that just a little bit, but good job by Peyton taking advantage of that.
Yep, and really, you know, hit it probably about a half a foot fair down the line, gets to the wall. Jackson Saylor does a good job of preventing Turlia from scoring from first base on that. But Peyton Harris, the designated hitter, with a double. Turlia all the way over at third
batting,
base.
The shortstop, number 9.
That'll bring up Grant Stewart, the junior shortstop, batting .306. No outs here. The Warhawks trying to do some damage. Garrison inside fastball, strike one.
I think that was the spot he was looking for on the last pitch.
Think so?
Yeah.
0-1 pitch to Stewart. Pops it up. Ethan Miracle going out towards the line and unable to gain his composure and make the play right there. Again, that's a tough play, but you got to make that in these types of ball games. Those have come back to bite you almost as much as the walks.
You know, the catcher usually is used to the ball with that backspin coming back towards the field of play, but you know most of the fielders are not used to that.
So great crossing, nobody out, runners on second and third. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Stewart, outside, ball one. Cal Oaks is supposed to come up and join us here, and I think in the bottom of the third. Stewart, foul ball down the right side, out of play. In the dirt. Patton looks him back, fires it over to Ethan Miracle for another strikeout in the books. Second strikeout for
Now batting, the
Joseph
center
Garrison.
fielder, number 12.
First out of the inning. So Scott County dodges a bullet right there. Now it'll be up to Aiden Foster, the senior center fielder, batting .308. He's got to put the ball in play. That's what Coach Stratton wants. He wants one of these runs at least in here.
Right.
First pitch swinging down the right field line. About 10 feet foul. On the hop was Andrew Wilhite out there.
Thing about Scott County's outfield, those three guys have played almost every inning this year. You got Jackson, Saylor in left, Campton in center, and Andrew. That's a pretty speedy lineup out there. So they do a good job of getting balls in the gaps and getting them back into the infield. All three with really strong arms.
Fastball high, and the count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. To the Warhawks senior center fielder, Aiden Foster. He was actually our player of the game, the last game we did over here. Swing and a miss. Garrison challenged him right there with a fastball.
Thing about Joseph, you know, he's not overpowering, but when he mixes in that off speed, then he does come back with his fastball. Just looks a little bit faster sometimes. Keeps guys off balance.
1-2 pitch. Hard slider outside, and the count evens up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Great crossing, led off the inning with a ground ball to Paul Garner. He was unable to get control of it. Next up, Peyton Harris doubled one down the left field line. And that's where we stand. Jacob Turlia over at third. Peyton Harris down at second. A 2-2 pitch on its way to Aiden Foster. High, ball 3. So 3-2 count here, 1 out. First base is open. Off speed curveball drops in there for a strike. Nothing that Aiden Foster could do on that one.
It's a tough pitch to swing at. You know, that ball had a lot of movement on it. Dropped it right inside his left shoulder, right across the plate.
Yeah, I noticed with curveballs, you pretty much you have to make your mind up as soon as they leave their hand. You're going to swing. Other than that, they
just tie you up. Yeah.
So now batting is the right fielder, the sophomore Drake Bird, getting from the left side of the batter's box. 2 outs here. Scott County did their damage with 2 outs. We have a time Again, your umpires tonight, Monty McGregor behind the plate, Jason Brockman out in the field. 2-man crew. They'll go to a 3-man crew in the district. First pitch, high, ball 1. Ground ball, Ethan Miracle.
Nice bounce.
Unassisted to get out of the inning, Scott County. Great crossing, made a little bit of noise, but Scott County's Joseph Garrison able to get out of it with back-to-back strikeouts. And then another to the first baseman, Ethan McGregor.
Miracle.
Ethan Miracle. It's a miracle if I could talk right. So no runs on 1 hit, 1 Scott County errors, and 2 runners left on base. So through 2 complete. Scott County with the early lead, 2-0 here on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Your health means everything. That's why we work to help keep you safe when you come to us for care. That's also why it's so important to not delay getting the care that you need. Whether it's an emergency, a checkup, or time for a screening like your annual mammogram. Get the care that your health needs now, because your health means everything to us too.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Chris Wilhite. Toby Murray run the camera and looking at your line totals through 2 innings. Scott County 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 error. Great crossing. No runs on 1 hit and no errors for the home team Warhawks.
Leading off the top half of the 3rd inning for the Cardinals, the shortstop, number 2, Chase Grigsby, on deck.
Leading off for Scott County. In the top of the 3rd inning is the shortstop, senior Chase Grigsby. Grigsby walked and stole second, where he was stranded in the 1st inning. Off-speed pitch inside, and the count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Off-speed, ball 2. Cole Traylor with 2 walks already in the ball game. Ground ball to Stewart at short. Stewart bobbles it. Grigsby with the speed. And an error on the steady shortstop for great crossing. Allows Chase Grigsby to reach first base. So first error of the ball game
now batting
for great crossing.
Baseman, number 4, Paul Garner, on deck, Miracle.
I think Grant just got a little hurry there. Chase runs really well and just tried to rush the catch and the throw and got away from him.
So now batting the number 3 hitter, Paul Garner, the second baseman, batting .236 is the sophomore. Kind of nonchalant pickoff move just to let Chase know that they were thinking about him. Great crossing in their navy blue uniforms. Our tops with crossing across the front. Grigsby fakes the steal attempt. Ball 1 to Paul Garner. Coach Willard gives out the 3-digit signal. Paul Garner's ready for the 1-0 pitch from Cole Traylor, the senior. Pickoff move from Zach Lyons to Chase Grigsby. That always told me that they're worrying about the runner a little bit too much there when they start picking him off from the pitcher and now the catcher's throwing. And
well, I think you've seen Scott County, all 3 base runners have gotten on base and they've stolen second, so they're obviously a little worried about him from that standpoint.
Right. Line drive over the first baseman's head by Garner. Grigsby's on his way to third. Paul Garner is going into second base. Beats the throw for a stand-up double off the bat of Paul Garner. That'll be the 3rd hit of the ball game for Scott County. Grigsby all the way over to third.
So good job of hitting there by Paul. Trailer's throwing a lot of off-speed stuff, a lot of curveballs, and he just went with that pitch right down the right field line. Got it probably, 5 feet inside the line.
On deck, Sailor.
And it didn't help Great Crossing that Turlea was guarding the first base bag with Grigsby over at first. Miracle kind of confused on the off-speed pitch, pops it up. Grant Stewart in the infield. Not what you wanted right there if you're Coach Willard. Fooled on the first pitch, off speed.
Yeah, the off speed got him on that one.
Yeah, that's one of those if you can't
Coach Willard wanted that in the outfield, yes.
If you can't swing hard at that first pitch, they always told me you don't swing. But it's easier for me to sit up here and say that than it is when you're in that batter's box.
I think he just saw that slow curve coming in there. It just looked like it was right there for the taking.
Infield in, first pitch swinging is Grant Stewart under his glove for another error.
He's going to score
Grigsby's
2.
in, and Garner will score as well. So uncharacteristic back-to-back errors by the steady shortstop for Great Crossing. And that one there, he was just trying to hustle to try to get the play at home. He was playing in as all the infielders were in trying to protect.
Now batting, the center fielder.
But Scott County scores their third and fourth run of the ball game.
On deck, Lopez.
And I think that was another case. It was Chase again on third, who's a speedy runner, and I think he was trying to, make the play just too quick.
First pitch to Campton Martin, called strike. And then you got Sailor, that's a speedster over at first as well. Swing and a miss, and Sailor's off again. Slides under the tag, and safe. So 2 stolen bases for Mr. Sailor. And, you hit her right on the head. You had a speedster and Grigsby over at third. A slow hitter to Grant Stewart. He's going to try to hold the runner, looking at him first, but he doesn't have much time because of the speed of Jackson Sailor. So I think speed had a lot to do with that.
Yes, both ends.
0-2 pitch, taken, strike 3. Campton Martin, back-to-back strikeouts for him, and he's not too happy with himself. So that's the third strikeout of the ball game, second out of the inning.
Aiden Lopez.
That was that slow curve again, just ties you up early, and it's just hard to cut loose and swing at it.
So Aiden Lopez, the designated hitter, had a base hit in the 4-hole the last time and scored on the single 2-out variety from Andrew Wilhite. Scott County 2 more runs here in their half of the third inning. Lopez fouls it straight back into the net, and the count evens up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, perfect day for baseball out here. Weather's 88 degrees and sunny. There's a number into left field. Underneath of it is Colin Nicholson for the last out of the inning, but Scott County damage is done as they're able to score 2 more runs. Both of those were unearned runs. You had 1 hit in the inning, 2 uncharacteristic errors by Great Crossing, and they leave 1 runner on base. So through 2.5, Scott County with the early lead. 4-0 here at Great Crossing High School baseball field. Back after this.
Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Chris Wilhite. Toby Murray here at Great Crossing High School. And Coach, Great Crossing in the bottom half of the second inning, they got the first 2 runners on, unable to score. Scott County, a little bit different for them. They got the first 2 runners on, and then an error by Jackson Sailor with the infield plate playing in allowed 2 runners to score. So Scott County was able to plate 2, whereas Great Crossings didn't get the runners in when they were in scoring position.
Right, and it was a good job by Joseph last inning. He had runners on second and third with no outs, and he was able to come out of that jam. And then Scott County was able to take advantage of 2 errors in that inning and push across 2 more runs.
Yep. So we go to the bottom of the third inning. Scott County with the early lead, 4-0 here. Glad you could join us.
The left fielder, number 1, Colin Nicholson. On deck, Ryan.
So leading off for Great Crossing is their number 9 hitter, Colin Nicholson, the senior left fielder, batting .364 and trying to get on base and hand it back to the top of the lineup here in the bottom of the third inning for the Warhawks. First pitch outside. Like to bring in Cal Oakes, Mr. News Graphic Extraordinaire. Glad to have you here tonight.
Good to be here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
He's going to join us here for an inning or so.
Good night for it. I said about triple the temperature it would have been if we played it in March, so we're happy.
Yep. I've been a little bit toasty the last couple of ball games, but enjoyed every minute of it after that cold start.
We skipped spring. We went right from winter to summer.
Yep. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And what's your thoughts of the ball game up to this point, Cal?
As you were saying, 2 out hits and taking advantage of errors so far. It's been a good night for the Cardinals on their side of the ledger.
Yeah, Joseph Garrison with the 1-2 pitch, all-speed pitch. Ground ball to Gardner. Gardner underneath of it, flips it over to Miracle for the first out of the inning.
Like the way Garrison bounced back, I believe it was the second inning when they got 2 on, and he pitched his way out of that. And that's been kind of what he does all season long.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. You know, very strong mentally, I think Joseph Garrison is. He's been through the wars of the district in the 42nd, and you know, Cal, in your time here, that's not easy for anybody.
No, and I think that was the question coming in probably for a lot of people is how would strength of schedule pan out in this game?
Yep, one attempt for a hit there. Valencia knocks it foul, or keeps it foul.
You know, when you're playing the likes of Frederick Douglass and seeing those pitchers, and when you're playing Sayre and seeing a Ray Sapman, I mean, that's you're tested no matter what your record says.
So one out here. Go ahead, Chris.
We were talking about that earlier. Joseph, you know, his record doesn't show probably what he's done this year pitching against those guys. I mean, he's pitching against Division I starters almost every night in the district, and
exactly.
And he's kept them in the game every time they play.
I think you got to look at his ERA, which is close to 3, and that's that's pretty solid for a guy that's first year varsity, really. I mean, it's all these guys on both sides missed an entire season. I think it's easy to forget that.
That's right.
Fastball down the middle, fouled straight back by the leadoff hitter, Zach Lyons. Zach popped out to Grigsby out in short left field in the first inning, batting .357 on the season. And I know it's got to be good for you from a sports perspective. I know you're really busy this time of year, but didn't get to do much of that last year at this time, did you?
Everybody says, I bet you're happy to be back watching games, and I tell them you have no idea.
Yep.
You know, and it does. Spring season certainly ramps up because you got so many teams scattered all over the place. We got track tonight at the region championship in Lexington, so tough to have all those things going on at once, but it's a happy problem.
Swing and a miss. Third strike is dropped. Flips it down to Ethan Miracle, so another strike in the books for Joseph Garrison. That's his 4th strike out of the ball game, and he's kind of in a groove here.
Well, and having a catcher like Zane, when you know you can throw a 2-strike pitch and throw it into the dirt, and you got a catcher back there who's going to block it up and be able to still get your strikeout and throw the guy out. It's got to give you a lot of confidence to throw that pitch.
Yep.
Another thing that Coach Willard has said about Joseph Garrison is the other team looks at him maybe warming up and says, okay, tonight's the night we can put the bat on the ball, but they're often sadly mistaken.
Yep, you can see right there he comes back with that 1-0 off-speed pitch to Benny and Bond for a strike call. Benny and Bond, one of the strikeout victims of Mr. Garrison in the ball game. Hits the ball hard out into right center field. Good jump out there by Andrew Wilhite. He gets underneath of it, so good play by the Scott County right fielder. He's done it with the bat. With 2 RBIs early, makes a nice running catch out in right center field for the 3rd out of the ball game. And so Scott County holds serve as Great Crossings finds themselves behind the score. Scott County 4, Great Crossing nothing here through 3 complete. And Cal, let's take some time here. I know you've been following a lot of the sports. We appreciate all the Facebook posts, and right now you're posting probably to Twitter or Facebook, one or the other. But, you know, you've seen a lot of the athletes and been around a lot of them this spring. There's nothing they'd much rather be doing, especially after being off last year, is it?
My goodness, I can't imagine what it was like to go through for them. I mean, I selfishly complain about it, but you think of all the seniors that missed an entire season, and then really all these kids sat around all summer, depending on what sport they planned to play in the fall, and didn't really know what they were going to be allowed to do. And it's just it's a sad situation. I know there was a lot to balance, and I think certainly in the KHSAA's case, they certainly fought the good fight to make sure those kids got a full 2021 season or the closest thing to it, and I'm certainly thankful for that.
And that's what most people don't realize is you get prepared for varsity action by playing JV baseball. So these sophomores and freshmen that are now playing at the varsity level, they didn't have that year at the JV level, and that's a huge difference because that's where you learn, that's where you grow to learn how to play high school
You know,
baseball
and not
and
only
softball.
that, but summer sports of all varieties, and I think, you know, that's right now where we're going from one high school to two in this community. That was a big lost summer for a lot of these kids because they don't have that varsity experience. You're right.
So leading off for Scott County is the pitcher. He was pinch hit for in his first time up by Jacob Blair. This time he gets the bat. First pitch, off speed, outside, strike one. So it'll be Joseph Garrison, Andrew Wilhite, and back to the top. Zane Patton for Scott County as we go to the top of the fourth inning.
Kel, we were talking about when they did pitch in for Joseph early, that was the early pitch hitting situation.
That was an interesting. I don't know if Willard had a hunch there or what, and it almost paid off. He got the bat on the ball.
Right.
But,
Nice shot by Garrison. Good diving play by Benner. Up. Takes his time a little bit, and just in time with the throw is Seth Benner. I thought he might have waited a little bit too long, but he knew his arm strength and gets him out by about a half step for the first out here in the top of the fourth inning.
I know there have been some ups and downs tonight, but that left side of the infield for Great Crossing has been outstanding this year with Benner and Stewart.
Yeah, Benner's made two outstanding plays already in this game. I think on that one he was just trying to get his feet set. He looks like he was a little dusty over there, so he was trying to get a good.
Yep, that's his second diving stop of the ball game. Yeah, I'm very uncharacteristic. Grant Stewart out at shortstop.
Yeah, you've seen him. You know how he can. He took a hit away in the first, but a couple of tough ones there lately.
And we were talking about, I think, the speed of Scott County with Jackson Saylor at third and Grigsby at third and Jackson Saylor running probably had something to do with that
Gets
second.
in your
error.
head a little bit. Yeah.
He didn't have much time on that number off the bat. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss by Andrew Wilhite. Wilhite had the big 2-out, 2 RBI single into right field to score the first 2 runs for Scott County in that second inning. So Wilhite ahead in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike here, 1 out in this top of the fourth inning. Cole Traylor in a groove this inning. Outside corner, strike 2, count goes full.
He usually works ahead, and he's been getting behind in this game, and it's cost him pretty dearly.
Yeah, he only has 12 walks in the season, has 2 of them in the ball game up to this point. Wilhite pops it up into short center field. Hayden Foster nonchalants it for the second out of the ball game. We're back to the top. Zane Patton.
Now batting the catcher, number 8.
Zane Dew here
Patton.
had a line drive
On deck, Grigsby.
to Seth Benner. One of the diving stops for him. And also a ground out to Grant Stewart at shortstop his first time up. So 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch. A little bit low.
You want to talk about gamers. This kid has been the heart and soul of this Scott County team this year.
Yeah, we were talking about it. First 2 times up, he was 3-0 both times and given the green light by Coach Willard, and that says a lot. He grounds it over to Bond. Bond with a routine play. 4-3 for 3 up, 3 down for Scott County. So Scott County quiet in their top of the fourth. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the bottom of the fourth to see what Great Crossing can do. Glad you're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
Surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with Chris Wilhite. Toby Murray here at Great Crossing High School. Good ball game so far. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Scott County with the lead, 4-0. Joseph Garrison on the mound for Scott County. Up to this point, Joseph has given up 1 hit. On the other side for the Warhawks, Cole Traylor has given up 3 hits to Scott County. Scott County, the most important number. They have 4. Great Crossing has 0.
Off the bottom half of the 4th inning for the Warhawks. The third baseman, number 28.
Joseph been very efficient, only 39 pitches through 3 innings.
Yep. Austin Mead out in the bullpen for Great Crossing. Austin, number 16th in the state with 2 save attempts, or 2 actual saves, not attempts. Excuse me. First pitch from Garrison to Seth Benner. High and outside strike call there.
Haven't seen that one in this game.
Swing and a miss. I don't think he was going for a cheap hit there. He
was trying to hit that over the Warhawk out there in center field. I think it's one of the big keys we talked about earlier. He's batting with nobody on base again. It's 2 times in a row. And
line drive back up the middle. Joseph Garrison pats his chest and says, "My bad," or "Thank God it didn't hit me." One of the two. I couldn't read his lips, but Seth Benner with a rocket back up to the middle to start the inning 4.
Now batting the first baseman.
The Warhawks, their second hit of the ball game.
Turlia on deck.
And he'll pass it back to Jacob Turlia. Turlia reached first on an error by Paul Garner out at second base. He went a long way up the middle to get the ball. Once he bobbled it, there was nothing he could do. First pitch swinging, a large shot to Chase Grigsby, and Chase Grigsby giving one of them back. So an error by Scott County. And the sure-handed Chase Grigsby.
It was a hard hit ball, but I think Chase was looking at 2 quickly before he caught the ball.
Most definitely there. I think that was a tailor-made double play ball right there. A line drive shot to Chase Grigsby would have been an easy flip to Garner. But Great Crossing has runners at first and second. And again, 2 short-handed shortstops here tonight, and both of them struggling a little bit.
The designated hitter, number 10, Peyton Harris.
So Peyton Harris had the double down the left field line in the second inning. A chance to do some more damage right here as he has Turlia in scoring position out at second. Or excuse me, Seth Benner in scoring position at second. Turlia over at first base. First pitch swinging on the off-speed pitch. Miracle on the race. And out of play. Glenn, glad that Cal Oaks could come up and join us. Tell you what, he does a great job. I don't see how he covers all the sports that he does, but
it's amazing the amount of information that he's able to put out each and every day on every sport.
If you don't follow him on Facebook or Twitter, you need to if you're a fan of Great Crossing, Georgetown College, or Scott County High School. Swing and a miss by Peyton Harris on that pitch. Because like I said, if you care about athletics in Scott County, he's the one to follow on Twitter because he does a great job. I'm glad he could stop up here and talk a little bit about what he's seen in the spring sports, finally getting to play after a year break. So the 0-2 pitch from Garrison, lofted into center field. Underneath of it is Campton Martin. We'll see what Benner's going to do. Martin sails it. Valencia able to get off the bag there to get it. I think Mr. Martin going to show off his arm strength right there. Coach Willard's
been known to do that once or twice. Yeah.
The shortstop, number 9.
Coach Willard, on the other hand, probably like, you better make sure it doesn't go past him.
Just get the ball back in the infield, right?
There you go. So Grant Stewart struck out, second strikeout of the ball game for Joseph Garrison was Grant Stewart in the second inning. And again, another opportunity here. Great Crossing had runners at first and second in the second inning and unable to advance them. Same thing here in the fourth. Grant Stewart drops down the bunt. Good bunt. Patton's going to pick it up and keep it foul. I don't know if they would have had a play on that one. That was positioned pretty well.
I don't think they had a play at first or third on that one.
Yep. And that's a tough play by the third baseman. He's got to make his mind up real quick because his number one responsibility is to stay back.
Right.
But if that bunt is hit to him pretty hard, he has to come in and get it.
And that's another advantage that Zane, catching for Scott County, Zane Patton, he's so quick. He was out on that ball very quickly and was able to get it before it went back fair.
So 0-1's the count to Grant Stewart. One out here, runners at first and second. Nice shot, Grigsby was holding on the runner, and they're going to send him on Saylor's arm. Saylor airmails it, and the runners are able to advance on the throw. And again, back-to-back, airmail throws by the outfielders allows a run to score and the runners to advance. So hats off to Grant Stewart. He gets an RBI single to left field. That is the third hit of the ball game for Great Crossing.
The center fielder.
But the throw by Saylor allows Tolia to go to third and Grant Stewart to go to second. So untimely miscue by the outfielder for Scott County. He's got to keep that ball low where the third baseman can cut it off and at least prevent that runner from going from first to second. So great job of hitting there by Grant Stewart, an RBI single. Great Crossing finally dents the scoreboard, the first run of the ball game here. And with one out, a chance, ball in play, chance to get another one. Grigsby gets past him in the 6 hole. They're going to send him home again. The throw this time is pretty much the same. And Aiden Foster. So third hit of the inning for Great Crossing. Allows 2 runs in. And again, Coach Stratton being very aggressive with the left fielder over there on the base path, but it's paid off as 3 runs in for Great Crossing. And Sam Sutton is out to talk to Joseph Garrison. But Scott County's outfielders have to get their throws down. That's 3 high throws in a row. The one from Martin didn't really do much damage, but that one right there, back-to-back times, you allowed not only it doesn't matter that big that he wasn't going to throw the runner out anyway, but that throw being high allows the runners to advance. They were able to advance to second and third, and then Aiden Foster was able to advance on that throw.
Exactly. I think that's the big key,
Yeah. And you don't give that an error because you just say they went to the next base on the throw.
Part of the play. But like you said, allow both guys to move up, and then they're able to score two runs on that single.
So Seth Benner started out with a rocket back up the middle, an error by the shortstop, a single to left field by Grant Stewart, scored 1, and then a single pretty much in the 6 hole, able to score 2, and so 2 RBIs for Aiden Foster. And we got ourselves a ball game. That one gets past Zane, and Foster able to get to third base. Is that a wild pitch or a pass ball?
Looked like a pass ball. I think Zane might have got mixed up on that just a little bit.
Yep, pass ball is going to be our unofficial call. Drake Bird, the sophomore right fielder, hitting .375, grounded out to Miracle in his first at bat. And now a chance here for Bird. Grigsby's coming in, but Garner's playing deep at second, and Miracle's playing deep at first. So kind of a split infield here. And Grigsby backs up now, so Scott County's going to concede the run. Line drive over the head of Coach Stratton. 4-3 here. Great Crossing making some noise. 3 hits in the inning to go along with the Scott County error. And you look up, 3 runs on the board. You can't be happy if you're a Cardinal fan.
When this 5 guys in a row have really put the wood on it, 4 or 5 strong hits, and I guess his second time through the lineup, these guys are seeing it a little bit better.
Yep. There's another one right at the middle. We got a top ball game here as Aiden Foster jogs in, touches the plate, and a good piece of hitting there by the sophomore right fielder as he gets a single right back up the middle. That's the 5th single of the ball game. 3rd base hit in a row.
The left fielder, number 1, Colin Nicholson. On deck, Lions.
So still 1 out in the ball game. We're tied at 4-4. 5 hits for Great Crossing, and they put the wood to the baseball this inning. First pitch swinging is Colin Nicholson. The senior left fielder grounded out to Zane Patton at second base in the third inning for his first time up.
I think you see how hitting is contagious. These first couple guys at the inning put good wood to it, and now it's just carrying over and through the rest of the lineup.
Yep.
That was a strong swing by Nicholson right there. He was
3 back-to-back RBI single base hits by Stewart, Foster, and Bird. There's another one in the middle. Bird's going to stop at second. So whatever they've done, they've started hitting that ball either back up the middle or in the 6 hole. 6th hit, 4.
I wonder at some point the Scott County look to get somebody loose there in the bullpen.
Number 4,
Yep.
Zach
They do not play until Sunday in the district.
Joseph kind of cruised through the first 3 innings and run into a little bit of trouble here. It's
Great Crossing is not done.
Still only 1 out.
Or 1 out, excuse me. There's another one up the middle. Garrison tries to backhand it. Martin makes the throw to third, so Great Crossing with the lead. As Zach Lyons does his job. That's 3 hits in a row, right back up the gut. 7 hits for Great Crossing. So Colin Nicholson is out at second. And we're going to see a pitching change here from Coach Willard. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball on the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
Scott County Veterinary Clinic offers complete animal health care, including hospitalization, surgery, in-house blood work, and laser therapy, along with a state-of-the-art boarding facility and a large yard to run and play. Find us online for more information.
Welcome back to the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. New pitcher on the mound for Scott County, and that's the senior Zane Patton. Coach, what are his pitching stats on the season?
Zane, like we talked about earlier, him and Joseph kind of been 1-1A on the pitching staff this year. Zane has started 6 games, 37 innings pitched, given up 30 hits, 23 runs, 18 of which were earned. Only walked 12 in the 37 innings and 28 strikeouts, 3.41 ERA. Pretty
good.
Solid on the mound.
Yeah, Great Crossing seeing pitcher 1A and 1B for Scott County tonight.
Well, I think, obviously a rivalry game. Both teams want to win, but you also look at both. I don't know about Great Crossing schedule. Scott County doesn't have another game this week before their district matchup, so they definitely need to get their pitcher some work.
Yeah, this is the last game. I think Great Crossing has 2 games this week. And now it's up to Biniam Bond with the new pitcher in for Scott County.
Biniam Bond on deck. Benner.
So Garrison goes 3 1/3 innings. He gives up 7 hits. We'll tally up the run total. First pitch, line drive to Garner. Doubles off Colin Nicholson. So Scott County has to be happy to get out of that, only giving up 5 runs, as that ball was hit pretty hard by Benny and Bond. But the double play, so we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. So through 4 complete, Great Crossing rallies with 5 runs to take the lead, 5-4. You're watching high school baseball on the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
6 hits with 1 error.
All 5 of those were earned.
Left on base.
All 5 of those were earned.
After 4 innings of play,
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Great Crossing 5.
So Great Crossing in that inning. 6 hits, score 5 runs. All 5 of those were earned, even though with this error by shortstop, that error was made before 2 outs. So all 5 runs were earned. So 6 hits, 1 error by Scott County, and 1 runner left on base. And that was a big play right there by Paul Garner. Benny and Bond hits that ball pretty hard, the line drive, and then they were able to double off Colin Nicholson out at second base. But if he didn't make that, Mr. Everything, Seth Benner's coming up with 2 outs for a Great Crossing.
And where Paul was playing, I mean, he hit it right to him.
County Physical Therapy is a private
Get off the ground to make it. But where he was playing, that ball was over his head. That's in the gap, right center gap. That probably goes to the fence.
Yes, it
hit
does.
it very hard. It's a good job by Zane coming in 1 pitch, and you turn a double play and get out of the inning.
So looking at your line total real quick through 4, Scott County 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors. Great Crossing 5 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. So a pretty consistent ball game. Scott County was able to get 4 runs on 3 hits. Great Crossing took them 7 hits to get 5 runs. So second pitch to Chase Grigsby. The third pitch, and the count's 1-2 to the shortstop. Walked and reached on the air, so 0 for 1 officially in the ball game. Off-speed pitch, nubbed up front. Trailer picks it and bobbles it, so another error, this time by the pitcher. So again, the speed of Grigsby. Trailer had plenty of time right there, but as soon as he drops it, then the...
I think he took his eye off of the ball just for a second, watching Chase, sprint down the line. Chase been on base all 3 times tonight.
So Paul Garner, 1 for 2, a double down the right field line, and scored his last time up. Pickoff attempt for Grigsby. The ball gets away from Turlia just barely. So 5-4 here in the top of the 5th inning. Chase Grigsby over at first. Off-speed pitch, strike call. Good pitch right there by Cole Trailer. Ball hit to the second baseman, Bond, flips it, catches it and flips it quickly. Only out he had right there. So 4-3 in the books. For the out is Paul Garner. Advancing on the play is Chase Grigsby.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 20, Ethan Miracle. On deck, Sailor.
So your final line totals for Joseph Garrison's 3 1/3 innings pitched. 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Grigsby in the rundown. Benny and Bond tags him out. Right there for Chase Grigsby. I'm not going to write all the numbers down, but there was a, I'm just going to say run down for the second out.
1-4-5-4.
1-4-5-4.
That's my guess.
Says Coach Will Height. And like I always tell people, if you don't know, say it convincingly and they'll believe you, and that's what I did with him. So 2 outs here. Scott County. Coach Willer not happy with that one right there. As the pickoff move from the pitcher back to Benny and Bond. Gets Grigsby in a run down. There's a shot. Benny and Bond been involved in all 3 plays, and he makes this one as well. So 3 up, 3 down for Scott County. Unconventional, but the end result, you got to like it if you're Cole Trailer. as Scott County unable to score a run as they had a runner on second with less than 1 out. So quick inning for Great Crossing. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Zane Patton in for Scott County. Jay Wilson coming in, replacing Joseph Garrison in the lineup. Now catching for Scott County. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Great Crossing 5, Scott County 4. And we expected a close ball game, and this is what we're getting, right, Chris?
We did. You know, early on, Scott County took advantage of some miscues by Great Crossing, and that last inning, second time through the lineup, Great Crossing hitters really adjusted to Joseph Garrison's pitching there, and were able to string together five hits in a row, 6 in the inning. And, you know, took advantage of one miscue by Scott County, and they put 5 runs up.
So leading off is Seth Benner. Second time in the ball game, he's led off the inning. He led off in the second. And now, oops. Andrew make that catch?
Paul Garner came over and made
Paul Garner
behind Ethan behind first base.
Makes the catch.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 17.
That'll bring up Jacob Tortilla, the first baseman.
Harris.
0 for 2 officially, been on base both times. Error by the second baseman, error by the shortstop. This time he pops up to Jackson Saylor out in left field. So two early outs for Scott County's Zane Patton. That'll bring up Peyton Harris, the designated hitter. 1 for 2 in the ball game.
I'll be curious what Peyton does. The first 3 batters who faced Zane Patton, they've all swung at the first pitch. He's thrown 3 pitches.
Yep.
Well, there's your answer.
Yep, Peyton Harris must have heard you. He said, I'm not swinging. So the bottom of the 5th inning here. 2 outs. That pitch is high and just a little bit inside. So here's the 2-0 pitch. Zane kind of a little bit excited, let's put it that way.
Overthrowing just after those first 3 outs, and he's trying to go right after him right here.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. And a walk. First walk of the ball game for the Scott County pitchers.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 9, Grant Stewart. On deck, Foster.
So Grant Stewart with the big base hit last time up to left field to score a run. And then the throw from Saylor was high, and both runners were allowed to advance, and he gets another line drive over the third baseman's head into left field. Saylor quickly throws it into Grigsby. So back-to-back base hits for the junior shortstop for the Warhawks.
It's another guy who's gone up there swung at the first pitch.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 12, Aiden Foster.
8th hit of the ball game for Great Crossing. That'll bring up Aiden Foster. Aiden had the big hit to left field as well. Scored 2. 2 RBI single. Struck out in the second. 2 outs here. And Great Crossing trying to make some noise. First 2 batters out on 2 pitches. Since then we've had a walk to Peyton Harris and then a nice line drive base hit off the bat of Grant Stewart. So Aiden Foster, a chance to drive in some more runs here for Great Crossing. They lead 5-4 here in the bottom of the 5th. We have 2 outs. Pitch into the dirt. Wilson picks it up, and the runners advance on the pass ball. I'm sorry, the wild pitch. Pretty much automatic wild pitch if it goes in the dirt.
That bounced just a few feet in front of home plate there.
Yep.
Tough one to handle for Jay Wilson.
He did a good job keeping it in front of him, but it got away just enough to allow both runners to advance. So now the count goes to 1-2 on Aiden Foster, and he's a little bit upset at himself right there. That was his pitch, and now he's got a chance to drive in a couple of more here with a base hit with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off, stays alive. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He puts it in play. Garner gets underneath of it. Flips it over just in time, so a nice play defensively by Scott County second baseman Paul Garner. A lot of range to go in that 4-hole and not much time with Foster running to first base. So Zane Patton, a little bit of noise by Great Crossing, but he gets out of it with no runs. On 1 hit, no error, and 2 runners left on base. So through 5 complete, Great Crossing 4, Scott County 5, Great Crossing 5, Scott County 4. We'll be back after this on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. 5 innings in the books. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, your line total: Scott County 4 runs on 3 hits with 2 errors. Great Crossing 5 runs on 8 hits with 3 errors. So we got us a good one here. Couldn't expect anything less in the Battle of the Birds, baseball style here at Great Crossing High School. Ball game up to this point has been what we thought it would be. Very close ball game. And we go to the top of the 6th inning. Scott County down 1, 5-4. And Scott County will start with Jackson Saylor, the left fielder. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked and scored in the 2nd. An error by Grant Stewart at shortstop allowed him to get on base in the 3rd. First pitch swinging. Drops in front of Colin Nicholson. So a leadoff single off the bat of Jackson Saylor. That's Scott County's 4th hit of the ball game, their first one since the 3rd inning.
Captain Martin on deck. Lopez.
So Campton Martin, a strikeout swinging and a strikeout looking. So pretty frustrated up to this point has been Campton Martin. Pickoff move by Saylor, as Cole Traylor is very aware of the speed of Jackson Saylor.
Curious to see what Scott County does right here, if they try to bunt him over or try to hit and run. You got 2 very fast runners, Campton and Jackson right here. Or you let him straight steal, then maybe bunt him to 3rd.
And they're making Jackson Saylor very aware that the pitcher's going to come over there. It's about 4 pickoffs in moves in a row. You got to be careful if you're Cole Traylor. I know you want to worry about the runner at first, but you got to worry about that
dangerous
hit at the plate. He had that ball, or that base stolen easily.
Yes.
Coach Willer, you could tell by his mannerisms over at 3rd base as he points to his temple.
Might have been a missed sign right there.
Yep. And it's tough hitting behind a speedy base runner because they're going to get that steal signal a lot, and you want to give them a chance to steal it, but
you also got to swing at strikes.
Yes. So pickoff attempt number 5. As Traylor kind of trying to keep Saylor on the bag. So here's the 0-1 pitch. Martin bounces it into the dirt over the head of Seth Benner at 3rd. And that was a chop single in the best variety right there.
Looked like one of the old AstroTurf singles. Bounce it into the ground, just bounce it over the left or third baseman's head.
Yep. So the 5th hit of the ball game for Scott County. Back-to-back singles to lead off the inning.
Lopez.
Scott County, runners at first and second.
On deck, Wilson.
Aiden Lopez, the designated hitter, single and scored in the second. Flew out to Nicholson in the third. Lopez squares the bunt, pulls it back on the ball.
Perfect bunt situation, trying to move your runners over to second and third, less than 2 outs. Aiden's usually a pretty good guy with the bat, good bat control. Speedy runner on second, speedy runner on first.
Lopez takes another ball. Turley not even holding on Martin at first. Benner.
Trailers tried to make him chase 2 there on the first 2. He knows he's trying to bunt, and he's trying to get him to chase after the first 2. Let's see what he comes back with here.
He pulls away and strike called. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And the noise you hear on the open mic is the Scott County fans.
I'll just say that would have been a tough one to bunt.
Yes, it would have. So he gets that bunt down, foul, and the count goes to 2-2. So now the question, is Coach Willard a little bit upset there? Not won't say upset, frustrated is probably the right term. He tried to bunt it towards the third baseman as Benner has to force him to make the call whether to charge or to stay back.
It looked like they had the wheel come in. The first baseman was coming. Benner was staying at third, so pitcher's got to get there and make the throw all the way across back to first. So a good bunt. Got a good chance to get a hit out of it.
Yes, you do. Because not only that, Bond has to get over it and cover first. Pitch is in the dirt. 3-2 is the count. No outs. Runners at first and second. You got Saylor out at second. You got Martin over at first.
Big pitch right here, both ways.
Back-to-back singles, and the 3-2 pitch is fouled straight back. Five to 4 is your score here as we go into the top of the 6th inning. First 2 runners on for the Cardinals. Back-to-back base hits to left field. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Good piece of hitting. Benner steps on it, and Bond. Don't know what was going on there. That was a mental error. Had plenty of time. Jackson Saylor was about 40 feet down the line towards third. Benny and Bond slow to get back over to second base. Benner had to wait. Had plenty of time.
Still had plenty of time. But then again, you got Jackson Saylor, the fastest guy on the team.
Now back in. The catcher, number 35, Jay Wilson.
But another outstanding play by Benner at third. We talked about all his offensive stats. But
yes,
he's been more impressive in the field today.
Yes, he has. So 1 out in the books for Scott County. And now Jay Wilson came into the ballgame, replaced Joseph Garrison in the 4th. First pitch off speed curveball, strike 1. Wilson asked for timeout.
Wilson's a guy who's kind of been thrown into that catching duty as a freshman with Zane having to do a lot of pitching, so Jay's had to do a lot of the catching when Zane pitches.
Pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike here, 1 out. 2 runners on base for Scott County. Scott County had a runner in scoring position, got picked off in the 5th inning. Now they got runners, and here they go. Straight steal. I'll tell you what, that throw was on the inside, foul side of the third base bag. Seth Benner did a great job catching that, and he made that a lot closer than it was.
A lot closer than it was, you're right. Yeah, that was very quick hands. He snagged that ball on the outside of the base, like you said, and got it around to the other side very quick.
So Scott County now has runners at second and third. 1 and 2 is the count. Looks like Campton Martin might be having the signs out there, so they called time as he was signaling to Jay Wilson So now Wilson with the infield playing in. Has to get it over their heads. Swing and a miss. Drop.
That's good, Lady Murray.
Lions did a good job looking Saylor back and getting the out over there. So a strikeout for Jay Wilson. That is the fourth strikeout of the ball game for Cole Traylor. 2 outs now in the inning. And now Andrew Wilhite. 2 RBI single in the second. A chance for 2 more right here with 2 outs for the junior right fielder. Flew out to the center fielder his last time up. First pitch, outside, ball 1.
Curious Traylor's approach here. You know, you got first base open, but you also, if you walk Andrew, you got Zane Patton, the leading hitter, coming up. So I'm sure he's going to go right after Andrew.
Andrew hits it good out to center field. Underneath of it on a good move is Aiden Foster for out number 3. So Scott County gets the first 2 runners on. They get them to second and third, but they get Lopez to line out to Benner at third. Wilson with the strikeout, and Wilhite with a fly ball to center field. So Scott County made some noise, unable to do any damage as they scored no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We'll come back for the bottom of the 6th. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Remind you again, tonight's game is live on the internet at www.birdsnestsports.com.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
You can also check it
Scott
out.
County trying to do some damage right there, get the first 2 runners on, but that's off to Cole Traylor. With runners at second and third, he gets 3 outs in a row. So again, that's a good job.
Very impressive by Cole right there. He worked out of a second and third jam with no outs.
So now it's up to Zane Patton. He's got a hold serve right here. Give Scott County a chance in the 7th. It's a lot easier to score 1 than it is 2. So his job right here is to keep Great Crossing from scoring a run. And Great Crossing is going to start off with Drake Bird. Had a single up the middle and an RBI. Scored the 5th run of the ball game. Going to be Colin Nicholson and Zach Lyons.
Number 15, Drake.
I guess it'll probably maybe be determined by what they do here on offense, but be curious to see if they run Cole Traylor back out there for the 7th. He's up to 91 pitches.
And I'd say it's going to be his decision. They don't have anybody. Well, they have Austin Meade standing out there.
Right.
First pitch, strike call. Stick around for our player of the game, presented by West Banco. We'll do that after the ball game. Pitch in the dirt for ball 1. One pitch. He tries to lay down a bunt. Misses it for strike 2. So Scott County scores 2 runs in the second, 2 runs in the third. Great Crossing comes back with a 5 spot in the 4th. That's all the scoring of the ball game. Zane Patton, he wanted that 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, he kind of looked in there a little extra on that one.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss.
Couldn't get him to chase low, so he went high with it.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 1, Colin Nicholson. On deck, Lions.
First strikeout of the ball game for Mr. Patton, and that'll bring up Colin Nicholson. Nicholson had a base hit up the middle and then was picked off on the double play. Bunt by Nicholson. Valencia up with it at third. And a nice throw. A good play by the freshman third baseman for Scott County.
Yeah, Luke Valencia read that one well. He read his hands and was able to charge in pretty quickly on that. Wasn't a bad bunt. He just got in there quick and able to throw him out.
On deck, Bond.
First pitch to Zach Lyons is a ball. Zach 1 for 3 in the ball game. RBI single in the fourth. He was one of the 3 back-to-back line shots back up the middle off of Garrison. Pretty much his base hit was when Coach Willard made the pitching change and they went to Zane Patton in the 4th inning. Count goes to 2-1 to the senior catcher. Hits that ball hard. Wilhite trying to run it down as it goes off the wall on 2 hops. Wilhite with the strong arm into second. 1 hop of the Grigsby, not in time. And a 2-out double off the bat of Zach Lyons.
Courtesy runner for the catcher, number 33, Mason Wiley.
That's the 9th hit of the ball game for Great Crossing. Running for the catcher,
Mason Wiley, Jr.
Mason Wiley, number 33. Ball hit in short left field. Diving attempt by Saylor. Unable to make the play with 2 outs. Benny Bond with the base hit. Scores the hustling Mason Wiley from first base. He's able to get all the way around and score on that base hit. 6th run of the ball game.
Number 28, Seth.
RBI single.
On deck, Turlia.
For Benny and Bond. And again, if you're Jackson Saylor, you got to make sure you can make that play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. He's coming in with 2 outs, and Jackson's made a lot of plays in left field. You can't fault him for the effort on that one.
Oh no.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 17.
And with 2 outs, a guy on second is going to score anyway on the hit. So you got to sell out for that one like he did.
Yep, 2nd walk of the ball game for Scott County. That one of the intentional walk variety, and they'll pass it back to Jacob Turlia with runners at 1st and 2nd. Actually, that was a double for Benny and Bond. Blue pit up in the air. Grigsby calls for it and makes the one-handed grab. So 3 outs, but Great Crossing was able to do what they needed to do to extend the lead out to 6-4 on that RBI double by Benny and Bond. Scored Mason Wiley from first. So 6 innings in the books. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back to see what the Cards can do in their top of the 7th. They need 2 to stay alive. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
And Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
Toyota.
So welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. 7 innings in the books. We'll look at the line totals up through 6th. Scott County on their side, 4 runs on 5 hits with 2 errors. Great Crossing, 6 runs on 8 hits and 3 errors. And more importantly here, Coach, Scott County down to the last 3 outs, needing 2 runs to stay in this ball game.
Yeah, it's been, I'm obviously deal a lot with basketball. It's kind of been a game of runs. Scott County got the first 4, and Great Crossing come back with 6 unanswered. So we'll see what Scott County can do. They're at the top of the lineup. We mentioned before that last inning started, if they could get 1 extra run, maybe push it out to a 2-run lead. We'll see if that comes into play or not. And they run Trailer back out there.
Yep, Trailer out there for the 7th, trying to go a complete game. First pitch, off speed, strike 1 call. And Zane Patton, Chase Grigsby, Paul Garner. Where do you want to be if you're Scott County? The top of the lineup. Line drive back up the middle. So Zane Patton does his job.
The concession stand now has Chick-fil-A
The
sandwiches for
sixth
$3.
base hit of the ball game for Scott County.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Chase Grigsby.
Chase
On deck,
Grigsby.
Garner.
0 for 2 in the ball game, on base by a shortstop error and a pitcher error, and also walked. Scored the third run of the ball game for Scott County. He's got to get on base right here. The speedy Zane Patton over at first, being held on by Turlia. Trailer off-speed pitch in the dirt. Good job, Zach Lyons behind the plate. And that was a great hustle out there by Jackson Saylor, trying to make the play. If he makes it, they come in with the momentum. Unfortunately, it just got under his glove by about 2 or 3 inches. Pitch strike call, and the count evens up. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Scott County senior shortstop, Chase Grigsby.
And I think at that point, maybe if the guy's on first, maybe you keep it in front of you, but at that point you got to lay out and go for it.
Yep. And that was my mistake. I thought the run was on first, but it was a double that he hit. That was hit by Zach Lyons down right field. It went all the way to the wall, so big difference there. Chopper in the 6 hole for Grigsby, so he does his job. So back-to-back singles to start the inning for Scott County. That's hit number 7. Zane Patton down to second, and Paul Garner and Coach Stratton going to make a pitching change right here. What we'll do is we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get the pitching change for you. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Scott County Veterinary Clinic offers complete animal health care, including hospitalization, surgery, in-house blood work, and laser therapy, along with a state-of-the-art boarding facility and a large yard to run and play. Find us online for more information.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with Chris Wilhite. Toby Murray run the camera for us as always. Glad you could join us here at the ball game. Great job there by Cole Traylor. Pitched 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, had 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. He has 2 runners on base that are his to do. So up to this point, he's given up 4 runs. 2 of those were earned, but we'll see about the other 2 runners. And Coach, into the ball game is number 34, the junior Logan Atkins. Do you have his pitching totals on the year?
Yeah, Logan's made this will be his 7th appearance. Started 5 of those games, pitched 21.2 innings. Giving up 17 hits, 17 runs, 11 which were earned. Has walked 27, struck out 18, 3.55 ERA.
All righty.
Hard throwing right-hander. Kind of watched him grow up as well. So.
Yep. And Coach Stratton wanted to give Cole Traylor the chance to get that complete game, but after back-to-back singles, pretty much forced to bring in another pitcher there. I thought he might have come in with Austin Meade, right? But he knows his pitchers better than we do. He decides to go with Logan Atkins, the junior.
Yeah, that was a game effort by Traylor. I mean, he got out of some good jams, a couple innings. He went through a couple innings, 1, 2, 3. And, very nice job. Very good effort.
4 runs through 3 innings. After that, he's pretty much held the Cards at bay. He had runners at second and third in the 6th and was able to get out of it with 3 outs in a row. So Paul Garner squares around the bunt, pulls back as the ball's in the dirt. Zach Lyons, good job keeping that in front of him. with the speedy Zane Patton and Grigsby.
Kind of the spot we've been talking about for Scott County this year. They've been in situations where if they can get a bunt down and advance the runners or get that 2-out hit. So here's another opportunity for them.
So Torlea is expecting the bunt. Garner.
Must have been a foul ball. Didn't get pulled back quick enough.
Didn't pull it back. So the count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. We're here in the top of the 7th inning. 6-4 is your score. Scott County needs to score 2 to keep this ball game alive. And they're not going away quietly as Zane Patton and Chase Grigsby are led off with singles to start off the inning, and they're out at first and second respectively. Garner squares around the bunt and bunts it foul. Coach Willard not a happy man out there at third base.
Yeah, that was a tough one to bunt. He probably, I don't know, without being out there, it's hard to say, but looked inside. Maybe he could have pulled the bat back, but
I don't think Paul.
Also wasn't a fastball. It's a little tougher to bunt.
Paul wasn't too excited to look like body language about bunting, but we'll see what he can do right here.
Right.
Turley is still in at first. Off-speed pitch comes in high. The count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes. Atkins kind of mannerisms like he wanted that a strike call. Mullins stays alive. Looks like they got number 31, Micah Mullins, out in the bullpen for Great Crossing. So Zach Lyon wants the call again from the pitching coach. And here's the 2-2 pitch on its way. Runners at second and first for Scott County. Paul Garner.
Good battle both ways here. Atkins coming right at him with the fastball on that one.
3 pitches in a row. He's fouled off with the count being 2-2. No JV game tonight, just the varsity affair. JV teams have already played once this year. Turlea picks up the slow roller, but Paul Garner didn't get the bunt down, but does his job right there.
Did what he was asked to do. It didn't work out with the bunts, but he was able to put it in play to the right side and advance both runners in scoring position.
Yep. I'm going to pretty much say give him a sack right there because he was just trying to put that ball to the right side.
Right.
So 1 out in the books. Runners at second and third. And they'll look for the number 4 hitter, Ethan Miracle, batting 179 on the season, 0 for 3 in the ball game. Ground out to shortstop, pop out to the shortstop, and a ground out to the second baseman. Corners are in for Great Crossing. The infielders are going to give up the run as Stewart and Bond are pretty deep. 1 out.
2-run lead. You're playing for the out on this one.
Miracle pops it up down the right field line. It's foul, but Turlea makes a good run for it. Can't get to it.
It was a long run for Jacob there, who made a great play on that last, Paul, hit it towards first, hit it right off the end of the bat. The ball had a lot of spin on it, so
had
he did
that
a good
English
job of keeping that in front and making that play. Sometimes those slow ones are some of the harder ones to catch.
So 1-1, off-speed pitch to Miracle. Benner with a nice dive and can't do anything with it. That was a good play by Benner, but I think maybe if that goes through, Stewart probably has enough time to get it and maybe make a play.
Possibly play it first. It's a tough decision by Zane whether to run or not run. With down 2, I guess you don't take the chance on that one.
Yep. And again, good job. 8th hit of the ball game for Scott County. As Ethan Miracle does his job, and in for Scott County to run is number 13, Thomas Fikert.
Pitch running for Scott County, number 13, Thomas Fikert. Now batting for Scott County, the left fielder, number 34, Jackson Taylor. On deck, Martin.
So Jackson Saylor, the speedy left fielder, 1 for 2 in the ball game, reached on the air and walk. Off-speed pitch, fouls it back. So Zane Patton's down at third base. Chase Grigsby is at second. Thomas Fikert is down at first. So pitch. So 0-2 is the count to Jackson Saylor. Another off-speed pitch. He fouls that one off. So Logan Atkins came in to face Paul Garner. Garner does his job as he sacrifices the runners over to second and third, and Ethan Miracle with an infield single. But Zane Patton unable to score on a nice play by Seth Benner over at third. Fastball outside. Atkins goes palms up. He's got to be careful here. Don't want to show up the umpire.
Yeah, I think his catcher was motioned. It was a little bit outside. So, yeah, you got to be careful.
So the count's 1-2. 1 out here, bases loaded. Saylor with the strikeout. That's the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Great Crossing pitching staff. And so now with 2 outs,
now batting,
it's up to Campton Martin.
Number 14, Campton Martin. On deck, Lopez.
Campton 1 for 3 in the ball game, had a single to left field. His last time up. Good ball game here today, regardless of how it ends up, from my perspective. There's a number into left field. Is Nicholson going to get to it? He's not. Off to the races. Here's going to be a play at the plate. And Grigsby in safe to tie up this ball game. And Thomas Fikert over to third. And Campton Martin down to second. So an RBI bloop single to left field for Scott County's Campton Martin. And basically, Coach, you could almost say he was due for that.
He was due, yeah. It's good to see, Campton being a senior, one of only 3 on the whole team. Great Crossing is loaded with seniors, but Scott County is a very young team, so it's good to see your senior come through in a clutch situation like that.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
And on the throw,
54,
good hustle by Colin Nicholson, but the throw to home allows Fikert to get to third and Campton Martin to get to second. So Scott County ties this ball game up with a 2-out single off the bat of Campton Martin as he stands down at second. And now Aiden Lopez, a chance to give his Cardinals the lead. Behind the count 0-1. He hits it right up the middle. He gets to Atkins, and they're going to send Martin, and here's the throw from Foster. It's high, and Aiden Foster with the hands raised heads on down to second base with a nice base hit. So back-to-back 2 RBI singles for Scott County, and they take a 2-run lead here as Fikert scores the 7th run, and Campton Martin sliding in scores the 8th. So a lot of excitement here for Scott County.
The catcher.
That's a case we talked about earlier in the game. Moving up on throws. Scott County was able to do it on both of the last 2 plays and got guys in position and able to score with a single.
Yep, now so it's Jay Wilson in the ball game for Joseph Garrison in that 4th inning. So Scott County's done some damage here. With 5 singles.
Great job of hitting by Aiden Lopez right there, though. Just standing right up the middle.
Yep.
Got enough on it to get it through and score 2 runs.
Oh, 2 pitch is high. And again, right there, Logan Atkins, if he comes off in a defensive position after he comes off the mound, he makes the play, but the ball went to his arm side, and it got to him quickly. It'd have been a good play if he'd have made it, but ifs and buts. Wilson called out. Strikeout looking. 4. Mr. Wilson, the 6th strikeout of the ball game, but Scott County does their job as they're able to score 4 runs. All 4 are earned. They do that on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. No errors, and leave 1 runner on base. And more importantly there, Scott County able to get 3 hits back to back.
And top
score.
half of the 7th inning, Scott County sends 8 batters to the plate, scores
4 runs.
on 5 hits.
A 2 RBI single by Campton Martin to left field, and a 2 RBI single up the middle. And Campton Martin's ball wasn't hit too well, and Aiden Lopez's ball was hit just hard enough and in the right spot up the middle, but it doesn't matter. 4 runs in, so we'll take a timeout. We'll come back to see what the Warhawks can do as they're down to their last at bat. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
Your health means everything. That's why we work to help keep you safe when you come to us for care. That's also why it's so important to not delay getting the care that you need. Whether it's an emergency, a checkup, or time for a screening like your annual mammogram, get the care that your health needs now, because your health means everything to us too.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Chris Wilhite, Toby Murray running the camera. Great crossing. They went into the top of the 7th inning up 2. Scott County answered with 4. So great crossing, trying to do what Scott County did. They won't need 4, all they'll need is 3. They have to have 2 to stay alive. And they'll start off with Peyton Harris, the junior designated hitter, then Grant Stewart and Aiden Foster. Harris is 1 for 2 in the ball game, had a double to left field in the 2nd, flew out to Campton Martin to center field and walked, and was stranded at 3rd in the 5th.
Scott County just kind of flipped the tables right there. They went, like you said, came into the inning down 2 and go to the bottom of the inning up 2. Let's see what great crossing got right here. This bottom part of the order has done some damage in this game already, so we'll see what happens here.
Yep, Scott County has their 1A, 1B pitcher, district pitcher on the mound in Zane Patton. And you know nobody wants that more than him, so we'll see. It's been a great ball game here, like I said, regardless of who comes out on top. The fans of Scott County Athletics, both Great Crossing and Scott County, have to be proud, and the future looks bright for both teams. First pitch, strike called.
It's a great crowd out here, too. You got them standing all the way down first base line. I assume they're standing down the third base line. Part of the way, the bleachers are packed. I should say chair backs, not the bleachers, chair backs.
Foul straight back. The count goes no balls, 2 strikes to Peyton Harris, the junior designated hitter. Yep, first time I've actually stood up and seen the crowd. It is full.
Very good crowd.
Patton ahead 0-2. Lets the fastball go. Probably a little bit overthrown with excitement. And Scott County's going with Zane Patton all the way. Nobody up in the bullpen for the Cardinals. Both dugouts, both players, all players are up into the fence and the screen.
Yeah, this is Zane's game. Win, lose, draw, they have to drag him off the field.
Well, Zane Patton stops right in the mid-motion right there. Luke Valencia comes in as the freshman. Says, I don't think I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to go back to 3rd.
That was a quick talk.
So here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, mano a mano, and Harris stays alive. Scott County able to score 4 runs on 2 outs.
And they did it with singles, just like Great Crossing was able to get their 5 runs at 1 inning on all singles, so kind of turned the tables on it.
Off-speed pitch finds Harris a little bit early. So the umpire says, I'm out of baseballs. And Austin Meade says, okay, I'll go get this one in left field.
Yeah. That one's close to being in play. They probably ought to get that one off the field.
Yep. Again, Micah Mullins still up warming up in the Great Crossing bullpen just in case they're able to tie this thing up. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball again fouled off straight back. Peyton Harris is battling.
Good matchup. Peyton is a very good hitter.
Yes, he is.
And obviously, Zane's a good pitcher, so that's a good battle right here. Curious if Zane doesn't maybe go with something off speed right here. Get Peyton to chase.
Yep. And you got to trust your catcher, the freshman, Jay Wilson.
There it was.
He was. And Harris was looking for it.
Yeah, it's a good job fouling that one off. Good at bat by Peyton right here.
Got him on the off-speed pitch for a strikeout. So good battle right there. Peyton Harris makes him earn it, but goes down swinging. That's a second strikeout for Zane Patton. And now Grant Stewart, the junior shortstop. 2 for 3, run scored in the RBI today. Also has a strikeout to go along with the 2 hits. First pitch, ball. Stewart fouls that one straight back in the net. Just missed that one.
You know, coming into the season, Mike Zane's really not been a pitcher. As a sophomore, he was going to be probably a catcher or maybe an outfielder, and obviously last year they didn't play. But
ball hit well. Stewart out to center. Campton Martin underneath of it for the out. So Scott County, just like Great Crossing was, down with 2 outs.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 12, Aiden Foster.
So Aiden Foster now batting for Great Crossing. He'll try to do his job and pass it back.
Yeah. See if they can get a little 2-out rally going here.
Yep. Aiden 1 for 3 in the ball game. Chopper just fouled down third base. Really good ball game here. I know I've said it a couple times, but it's been a great game to watch. Great game to broadcast for you.
Just shows the amount of talent we have in this county right now playing baseball.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people focus on basketball and football, but the baseball talent's unbelievable around here.
Off-speed pitch in the dirt. The count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. I'd like to give a special shout out to Scott County Physical Therapy and Dr. Henderson, Georgetown Oral and Facial, for providing us the ability to do the broadcast for you for all 4 teams. Both teams, softball and baseball, for both schools. We've been able to bring at least 4 games of each one of them, so we really appreciate. Special shout out to them. If you see them, give them a special thank you. We really appreciate it. High fastball. Don't know how Aiden got his bat on that one. It was high and outside.
Stayed alive.
So the Scott County student section down on the out past the first base dugout, getting a little rambunctious.
That's another good thing to see, you know, just students from both schools here and being able to come out and enjoy baseball and see their classmates.
1-2 pitch overthrown into the dirt off of the mask of Jay Wilson. Again, also great hospitality shown by the press box crew up here at Great Crossing.
Very nice press box. Turn the air conditioner on just a little bit more, couldn't they?
Well, they probably saying if my big butt would close the window, it'd be nice and cool in here, but hey.
Got to enjoy the atmosphere.
Yep. Foster hits this one good. Saylor gets spun around but catches it 2 steps short of the warning track. And this ball game is final. Your final score, Scott County comes back to win it with 4 big runs in the 7th inning. So we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll look at the final stats and much more. Thanks for watching. You're watching high school baseball on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Again, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk about final stats, and then we'll come back and talk about our player of the game winner, here on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Scott County Schools and Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
At Bluegrass Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
And it was an earned run. Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, along with the coach, Chris Wilhite. And looking at your final stat line for the ball game, Scott County, 8 hits, 8 runs, 2 errors. Great Crossing, 6 hits on 8 runs and 3 errors. So we talked about it was going to be a pretty evenly played baseball game, and looking at the final stat lines, that's what we saw.
Exactly what we saw. 8 hits for both teams. And kind of what we were dwelling on earlier in the game about keys for Scott County. Coach Willer's been preaching to these guys. You got to get your runs up there even with your hits.
Yep.
You know, they'll go games where they get 8 hits and score 1 run. Today they were able to get 8 hits and score 8 runs. So, you know, same thing with Great Crossing. Had 8 hits and 6 runs. So both teams were able to piece together good innings and score runs.
Yep, and you look at it, you know, looking at the totals first, you look at Scott County. I mean, the 3 seniors did what they had to do. Zane Patton, he was only 1 for 4 in the ball game, but he had the big hit in the 7th inning to start it off.
Got the rally started.
Yep, and scored, and did a great job, phenomenal job as he was coming in, pitched 2 2/3 innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 of those earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So he's a candidate for the player of the game. Also, you have Chase Grigsby, the shortstop. He was on base all 4 times. He walked, reached base on an error twice, and had the second big single and scored the tying run of the ball game in that 7th when him and Zane started off the 7th inning with back-to-back hits. And then you jump down all the way to Campton Martin, the senior center fielder. Struggled early as he struck out swinging and looking the first 2 times up. His last 2 times up, he had a single to left field in the 6th, and then he had the big single, 2-out single to score 2 runs to tie up this ball game in the ball game as well. And then Aiden Lopez, the junior designated hitter, had the big hit right back up the middle to score what turned out to be the winning run for Scott County. So, again, it's pretty tough here on our player of the game. I think what I might do is I might actually just bring out Zane, Chase, and Campton, give them the plaque, and then they can figure out who wants it after that. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great call. Those 3, you know, have battled all year long, being the only 3 seniors on the team. They've, you know, been great leaders to the younger guys, helped bring them along. You know, they all make plays. You know, this game probably means as much to them as anybody, you know, being the first time go around, being their senior class. So, you know, those guys all contributed in different ways and contributed big to this victory for Scott County.
Yep, and your winning pitcher is Zane Patton. Who did they give the losing pitcher to? I think it might wind up being Logan Atkins, but I'm not for sure. I was going to just double-check Game Changer real quick.
Here to the bottom. they didn't put it on there, but he gave up the last 2 runs. It would have been tied, so yes.
Yeah, he gave up yep. So the runners that scored the 2 tying runs, he gave up the base hits to them. So,
yes.
So again, your winning pitcher is Zane Patton. Your losing pitcher is Logan Atkins. Your final line score, again, Scott County 8 runs on 8 hits. They committed 2 errors. Great Crossing had 6 runs on 8 hits, and they committed 3 errors. So again, we're going to give the Player of the Game award to Scott County's 3 seniors, Zane Patton, Chase Grigsby, and Campton Martin, as they all 3 came up big in that last inning for Scott County. So again, I want to give a special shout out to D.T. Wells at the District High School Athletic Director for allowing us to bring these broadcasts to you. We thought we'd be able to get 3 or 4 games in for both teams. We actually got 5 in for 2 of the teams and 4 in for the other. So for Scotty Sutton, who was able to join me for a bunch, for Chris Wilhite, who was here for the rest of them on the baseball side, and for Billy Parker on the softball side, and Toby Murray run the camera as always. And then a shout out to Art Morvay and Lynn Reeves at Scott County Physical Therapy, and Dr. Rob Henderson over at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Always step up anytime we need help to bring a broadcast. And one last shout out to the hardest working sports writer I know of, Cal Oakes. He does a great and phenomenal job covering Scott County and Great Crossing High School athletics, and he stopped up and talked to us for an inning as well, so a special shout out to him and the great job that he does. So for myself, Mike Ritchie, for Chris Wilhite, Toby Murray, we're the BirdsNestSports.com Broadcast Network. Thanks for watching, and have a good evening.